Hello. In this video, we will do something very special, at least for me. This is one of the most important moments in my life and path in the mystery performances. This was the beginning, I must say. This is the 1996 David Blaine special, Street Magic, that for me ignited this fire of mystery performance. And I say this in this way because what we can see in the first special is not magic in the normal sense, right? And you can watch reflections and ideas from other people, and even from David, from Paul Harris, and many others that they observe this special, like, pivotal moment in the understanding of the public as what magic is. Because if you don't know that there is such thing as trickery or magic tricks or deception, illusion, whatever, maybe you can feel what is created in here is kind of part of our reality. And that's one of the most beautiful aspects that I love in this special. How this magician was kind of ordinary, like anyone else, but at the same time, it was a mystery man. And let's observe a few of the moments. I think that I will divide this video in some aspects because it will be too long. So let's do maybe the first part of this deeper analysis, reflection of David Blaine-Street Magic. Now, just let's observe this image. The first image. Why that happens, right? There's someone walking. Cards are dropped. What happened before? Why is this person walking through, right? Now, I will not give you answers in here. I will offer you some questions to ponder, to observe in your own reflection. But, you know, this image is very powerful. And I can't say that they took this decision consciously, but unconsciously. As you can see, the cards are dropped. The magician that obviously we will meet in a moment isn't there. People are walking, and that's the beautiful thing. Street magic, right? The street magic before David Blaine was another concept in which we understand the magician is on a space on the street doing his or her show. But David Blaine in here changed a little bit the concept in such a way that now there's no need of preparations, apparently, of course. You are just a human being doing miracles, right? So again, beautiful. Now, again, we will take a lot of time of this because I love street magic, but you can see that there is a very conscious decision in here to create the first performance with 3 Afro-American women. One of them is pregnant, right? But so subtle. And maybe, again, it's not directed in a conscious manner. But this is beautiful, right? Integration. We are one. We are on the street. Normal people. Every people. Just give me a quarter. What is that line? That sounds like someone begging, right? And that's, again, a beautiful thing about this first David that we can see in this special. Is someone is kind of strange, right? Of course, because who says, give me a quarter, right? So sometimes, especially in this special, we can see some people that they criticize David for having a zero personality or socially awkward or whatever. And even though that can be the case, and I don't really know, and it doesn't matter because the persona that we are observing here is someone that allows magic to happen, right? So yes, he's the magician, but at the same time, he is the facilitator of the magical experience. So the person really doesn't matter. And it's beautiful because you can't focus in the person and the charisma of the person as the source of magic, right? Because sometimes we can see, for example, Fred Capps. Let's put a magical example. I love the magic of Fred Capps, but you can see that he was a technician, elegant, And in this case, it's the complete opposite. It's kind of someone that just allow magic happens, right? I love that moment. No, what? Right? The consistency of metals. Maybe that line was over complex by design, or maybe he just liked to say that type of line during the street magic. But you can see that his lines, his languaging, his phrasing is kind of strange. And I love that because it kind of shows someone that is not from here, right? That someone is truly kind of strange, but in a good way. Now you can see that first of all, in technical terms, this is the classic coin bite or many other versions. But in the superficial level, sometimes we say that Afro-American communities react in a bigger way, right? And that's kind of the the parody as well. If you see David's parodies, you can see that and reactions and so on. But I feel that there is something deeper in this. Is that what you are seeing, if the experience is not framed as a trick, right, is truly something impossible. Imagine that you are walking and suddenly a tree starts to float, right? What? Maybe you will react in a bigger way, that, right? So I feel that it's not just about the reactions. And obviously, one of the beautiful things about street magic, this special, is that David and the crew and the cameras understood that it's not the focus, the performer, right? It's not about this and just keeping the focus and just hearing the people screaming like a normal magic show, right? Just focus it into the performer. But this is all about the space, the conversation, the liberty and democracy of the street, right? So I love this moment because also, as you can see, Coinbite is a very quote unquote easy trick. And if you see David's repertoire during the whole special, in a way, anyone can do the tricks, right? And that's the most powerful thing because, again, it's not about what you do, it's how you do it and why you do it. And clearly, David, maybe you don't like the charisma and so on, but David has something to offer. And in my personal experience, when I see this and when I was 17, I truly feel that there is more, right? And even though I studied different arts before that, music and poetry and so on, this moment was a very crucial and pivotal experience in which I understood that there is mystery, there is a possibility of novelty, right? And that's beautiful. And again, that line that is very classic with David, look, watch, look, and maybe very in a monotone way, right? And some people again make laugh at that, look, watch, watch, but in a very esoteric manner. We can say that the magician, if you know the tarot, you know what I mean. The magician is the one that knows how to focus attention, right? So look, watch is what people needs to do. And again, look, watch is very interesting because the normal notion of any person that watches a magician is that the magician tries to distract. We use misdirection to use the distraction in here so he can do something like here, right? No, in here is look, watch, focus, watch the magic happens, right? Beautiful. I love that line. You know, she's pregnant and she feels that the excitement, the emotion is so strong that she will have the baby in there, right? So magic. You know, and that moment, oh, I also can observe the importance of how we imagine our performance in terms of images, in terms of this very simple narrative sequence of actions that she explains to him. So, for example, if we are doing, let's say, a telepathic experience with someone, and we are using whatever method, it doesn't matter. What is the story that we want people to tell after the performance, right? I want to focus into the paper as an object, or I want to let people remember that we just stare each other, we synchronize our breathing, and suddenly we start to be connected through telepathic means, apparently, right? So if we have our vision very clear, we will allow people to create a beautiful memory, a memory that contains mystery, right? Because she can tell that story forever. I saw a guy biting a coin and then a spirit together, right? So the performance becomes something just so much more than just a moment. It becomes a memory forever, right? So beautiful. That moment is so beautiful. Shows one, and then he shows a card, right? Like the magician again, like with the one, but now shows people, right? And now I will leave the video in just a few moments showing the beginning. As you can see, there's so much more to say, and I can tell you that I I am doing this reflection from this special since I experienced this especially when I was 17, and it's beautiful how much we can continue to learn with this beautiful special. You know, the playing cards are floating and spreading. What that means, right? Inside of the eye of the person, there's a card. Now, card, what is the symbolism in this case for cards, right? Cards can mean um, poker playing, can mean games, right? But in this particular context, how do you feel that the cards are presented in here, right? That's a beautiful description, right? He's walking on the street. He's walking like in a construction place, right? Travel across the country. And what is doing right now? Walking on the middle. What that means? He's walking on the place of the cars, right? Sharing his special skill. In this special, I don't remember precisely, but I can say almost with certainty that there is no any mention of any trickery. Maybe moment when he's talking with Leonardo DiCaprio and they talking about something beautiful that we will see in other video, but he does magic. He's a magician, right? And what is beautiful also is that after the climax of the performance, he went away. He kept silence. He doesn't explain, right? Sometimes, especially mentalism, I can tell you from my experience and watching others that we are so hung up in how we do it. Yeah, and we need a subtext. But most importantly, we don't need to reply always, right? Silence. Just keep silent. And of course, you need to work in your subtext and understand how you do it in the outer reality so people can feel it in a credible way. But that's just for you. We need to be silent. A talent of wonder and intrigue, right? There's no illusions, right? There's no deception. Right, what happens in there obviously it's a effect and they float or whatever, right? Doesn't matter what is the symbolism of that, right? It's like packing in time, it's like controlling the gravity, right? Controlling the objects. No admission chart, right? So that's a beautiful line because sometimes art becomes so contaminated by business, right? And obviously we can have a business, we can be professionals, of course. We have mental center, right? We are doing business, but it's not about the business. It's about the art form. It's about the beauty. It's about the mystery. At the end of the day, it's about the mystery. Magic, mentalism, it's about the mystery. It's not about the admission chart, right? Beautiful. Ordinary people, extraordinary magic. That's one of the beautiful lines that also we can learn from and reflect upon it because that's the way it is. Beautiful. Now, let's pause in there because if we ask someone, anyone, to explain the street magic special, maybe he or she will start saying, he does this card trick with the snap change and whatever, right? But as you can see, we already analyze so much, not just the coin, but everything, right? Everything in a deeper way. And obviously, we can continue the reflections and observe subtleties that allow us to arrive to new insights and ideas. So this is also a lesson for any stage worker, parlor worker that thinks that the opener is the first thing that he or she does. Not at all. Everything that happens in the first impression, in the introduction, everything that you do before your first trick, the tricks really don't matter. It's why you do what you do. And before your tricks, the mystery needs to start. You can't rely just upon in your climax. You need to be a mystery performer in the whole sense of the word. Beautiful. Now, watch this again. He's walking on the line of the cars. Of course, he's in danger, but he's like balancing, like going from one side to the other, right? Again, so I will not explain the symbolism there, but if you know, you understand. I love that line. There's no boxes, no stage, nothing, just people. And what it says now is, for me, funny. and me, right? So he's not people. Who is he? Right? So that's beautiful, and that's magic, right? It's people, it's conversation, it's the interaction, it's not the tricks. We can use so many tricks to create a particular phenomena, we can say, and the reactions can vary each person, but again, at the end of the day, it's all about your participant and how can you facilitate this mysterious experience for your participant in magic or in mentalism. So we will leave there for the next video. We just have 2 minutes and maybe this video is too long. So thank you for your interest in this. Hopefully we can go with the second one in 2 minutes, 36 seconds. Have a beautiful day.